everybody, this is Marian Cowagowan.
And this is David Owen.
And this is You Show Me Yours Rewatches Degrassi Junior High, Season 1, Episode 13. It's the season finale. Episode Revolution, with or without an exclamation mark. We have differing reports.
The world may never know.
I'm not sure if it makes a difference to the drama of the story, but choose with or without. What do you...
Yeah.
I'm really selling it there.
Yeah.
So this is the end of season 1, and just like the beginning of season 1 was very Stephanie centric, the end is too. Basically Stephanie's life's falling apart.
Yep.
And this is an odd ending because like a couple episodes ago we had the Spike drama, and I sort of thought that there would be Spike drama to end this season, but no, we just sort of forgot about Spike.
Nah, man. Yeah.
And anyway, I think, the arc of this season is not your typical one. It's not really an arc. It's just a blah, 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 going along, doing the storylines that come to us.
I don't know. I feel like Stephanie has an overarching. So to me, this feels like this season was started out at some point before it was maybe even Degrassi as just everything being Stephanie. The pregnancy, all of the Stephanie parts, obviously, that the whole thing, that this feels like it gestated from a story that was purely about a girl making bad choices and, betraying herself to be cool and betraying her true self to be cool and to be accepted and not understanding what it means to be a real friend and be a good person and a good sort of student and steward of your and to not to live up to your responsibilities in the role that you kind of unscrupulously got as class president. It feels, the whole season feels like it is a Stephanie arc, and then they put on top of that other stuff, like it started as a story about Stephanie, and then they were like, well, and to make this more relatable, or maybe to get funding, I don't know, we could make this a more just blanket cautionary. We get a kid in there who's being abused. We move our teen pregnancy angle over to a separate character. We've got a character dealing with fears stemming from losing her mother at the fears of the hospital. And, we got all these, we can throw these other things in here. But they come back to Stephanie so often that it almost feels like this was a story that started about Stephanie, because you don't really go more than a couple of episodes without checking back in.
Yeah. Possibly. Yeah. Just to be like, she's still changing her clothes in the bathroom. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And I kept thinking, she's not going to anymore. Her mom's going to read her the riot act and take away her tube tops, but she's still she's still doing it. Well, I know a lot of the plot lines that come up in the series come from the creators' experiences with actual teens, because one of the creators was a teacher for a long time. So some of these are based on real life, but yes, you can see how, we need a character who's this, so we need a character who's this, and who's our tentpole, and blah, blah.
I think that changes either with every season or as you go gradually. You can shift that. I'm not saying that it does or doesn't change, but I'm saying you can shift that. And you see that a lot with sort of ensemble shows, like, Full House famously started as a show about Danny and the Bois, and became the Michelle Show. Family Matters started as a show about a family and became the Urkel Show. Yeah. So
the West Wing was supposed to be largely about Rob Lowe, and then everybody was like, we don't care about him. We like this president guy.
Yeah. So these ensemble casts, you can kind of have these moments where somebody steps up and, okay, now they're the star for a season or two. Yeah. So it it does lend itself to that, like this was a Stephanie centric season. And I think she has a whole season arc from beginning to end. And then I'll be interested to see, because I just sort of remember individual episodes and bits and pieces of Degrassi, individual moments and stuff from Degrassi. I didn't remember the whole, that Stephanie had this whole season 1 arc. I don't know what's going to happen in season 2 as the overarching. I know there was a point where there's a lot of pregnant Spike.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, I think pregnant Spike sort of takes over in season 2.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, Stephanie has an arc, but it's a different arc. But let's talk about this episode.
Yeah.
So Stephanie is still hung up on Wheels, and one of the twins very kindly is like, I don't get what you see in him. Like, she's not being mean about it, but she's like, why are you so obsessed with him?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on the sofa going, yes, queen, exactly. Like, nothing wrong with him. He's perfectly fine, but this is not what I would call sexy at 13 or 48 or any age in between. I don't get it.
Well, he's just her type.
But apparently not, because their dates keep not working.
Well, he may still be her type. But
maybe.
That fate is not trying to tell her something.
Yes. Well, it's somewhere the end of the semester, so December, January, whenever that is, and they're about to have exams, and I believe Wheels' parents exposited last semester. His grades are not great, and he needs to do better. And so Stephanie asks Wheels, hey, do you want to go to the movies this weekend? And he says, no, I can't. I have to study because I need to get my grades up.
Yeah.
And she instantly is pissed.
Right.
And she's, fuming to the twins. I've never been so embarrassed in all my life.
Right. Because she kind of makes a show of doing it in front of the class, not like standing up in front of the class, but, walks into class. Oh, Wheels.
Yes. She does not pick her moment well.
No.
It wasn't, I don't know. Like, I don't think that many people know what happened. Like, you're not as special as you think you are.
School, like, I bet at that school, the escapades of Steph, and we hear some of it when they're gossiping about her, like being drunk at the dance, probably going out with an older man, the condom conundrum.
Well, I was going to say, I would think being abandoned in a parking lot by a soap opera star is a little more embarrassing than this, but okay.
Oh, well, possibly, but then she's the victim. There. Yeah. She's not, and I think that she can get sympathy for that.
Maybe.
Whereas this is her falling on her face, so to speak, in front of people.
But so she's feeling rejected and et cetera. But I'm like, he didn't say no. He said, I can't this weekend.
But he even says maybe over the holidays or something.
Yeah. So like, girl, you are overreacting. Like,
yes.
But hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, or a woman who doesn't get what she wants instantly, I suppose.
Yeah.
So she decides she needs revenge. And the twins are sort of helping her figure this out, sort of mollifying her. It's kind of hard to tell.
The twins are just quickly becoming the characters of basically the angel and the devil.
Yes.
And just like, oh, they're everybody's confidant.
Yes.
Like obviously we're Spikes, around the pregnancy test, and now here they are. It's just that's like quickly become their role here in the last like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah. I still can't tell them apart.
No,
I have a very hard time telling twins apart anyway.
Yeah.
But
they don't go out of their way to dress alike, and they do wear different enough hairstyles. I just haven't taken the time to learn to tell them apart.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's, this one is consistently in a ponytail, this one is consistently in pants, I can't really tell. So they are different from each other day to day, but I can't see a theme. But anyway, so they're sort of encouraging her, sort of just like listening to her, like, oh yeah, that's terrible. Oh yeah. And meanwhile, the grade 7s are talking about how there's no sports rep on student council because Jason, the one that we had previously, who we met in the one episode with the swimming race, has left the school. There's an opening.
Yeah.
And this is traditionally a grade 7 position. Why this is on the student council, I don't really know. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It's Canada.
Yeah. And the grade 7s think Yick would be great at it. And
famously, Yick has played it with a basketball in a previous episode.
Yes.
For a short time.
Yes. Well, I think he is on the.
No, yeah, and anyway. we see him dribbling basketballs. But like they've done just the bare minimum to establish that Yick is kind of an athlete. He plays basketball.
Sure, he's got the $20 sneakers.
Yeah.
Yes. So they're like, oh, go talk to Stephanie about it, and he does, and he does not pick his moment well either. He interrupts her when she's in the middle of a conversation. She's plotting revenge on Wheels, and he's like, do you think that I could be the sports representative? Because it is a grade 7 and there isn't one. And she's like, not now. I have other things to think about. Maybe next term. Like, get away, peasant. And so he slinks back to all of his friends, including Arthur and Melanie and Kathleen, which will be important in a minute. And then this gives Stephanie her brilliant idea. She's going to appoint Joey as sports rep to piss off Wheels. I don't really see how that works, but what she's going to do is she's going to lavish Joey with lots of attention.
Yeah.
Which you could do without naming him sports rep, but okay. And Joey, sweet clueless Joey, does not see what's happening.
Yes.
And is like, oh, she really likes me. Oh, sorry, Wheels. And like Wheels, being a gentleman, did not say, oh, she asked me out and I said no. Or I didn't even say no. I said I can't this weekend.
Yeah.
So Joey doesn't know any of that background, and he's being sort of insufferable.
Well, you're forgetting. You're minimizing here. She interrupts them during what major event?
Yes, I was saying last episode they were trying to figure out the name for their band, and I said, "Oh, I was looking forward to the Zit Remedy." Well, here we are. They finally decided on the Zit Remedy, and we get their one song,
the chorus of their one song.
As I recall, it was mostly chorus. I don't think it ever has that much else.
Like it bridges in, and then there's like one chorus, and that's it. And then I think the actual song is not. Much more.
I don't remember there being verses. It's just everybody wants something. They'll take your money and never give up. And never give up ad nauseum. It is the song that never ends because it just and
they are practicing that hit song.
Yes, and it sounds like there's a ukulele in there somewhere. It sounds very Hawaiian. I don't really understand.
Joey's just slamming this keyboard. Yeah, and it's like in harpsichord mode or something.
I don't understand, but and if you were a musicologist and you're like, I would like to analyze the song and I can figure it out, you will get lots more chances because over the next season or two, they play that song a lot because that's the only one they have.
Nice.
So if you don't like this one, sorry, you're going to hear it a lot. Yeah, so it's never really clear what the sports rep job is, but it doesn't really matter because Joey's not going to have to do it.
Yeah. It seems like they just talk about the sports on the announcements.
Yeah.
They keep track of what's going on and talk about the sports on the announcements.
Yeah, it's like a liaison, I guess, between the sports teams and student council. Okay, fine. So, yes, meanwhile, the grade 7s are pissed off that Joey has this job and not Yick when Yick is suited to it. And as they say, Joey doesn't even play sports.
Yeah.
And Kathleen, I wrote down in my notes, don't piss off a mean girl.
Right.
Kathleen is, remember Kathleen is a prude also, is annoyed by Stephanie because of her skimpy clothes.
Yes.
And they're watching her one day and they say, she's going to go in the bathroom and change as usual. Like, yes, she does that every day. Like,
yeah.
Okay. And she says something like, we have the worst dressed school president ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that is like the least of your concerns, but okay, go off, baby girl. And so Kathleen is sort of leading this, and Melanie and Susie and Arthur and Yick and some other various people.
Other folks you have seen,
yes,
some of which are getting their first line on screen.
Yeah. They all decide that she's gone too far, and this is after she's drunk at the dance.
They're recounting her foibles.
Susie says she's not a very good president, which I could have told you that from episode 1. And they decide it is time to protest against her, and they put up posters really fast. Like they just like
these kids can put up posters, man.
As we've seen, yes.
Rick immediately spearheads the protest, the petition, as he previously was the good petition boy in the environmental episode.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Rick. Rick can carry a grudge.
Yeah, he comes to the table.
Yeah, so they have posters everywhere, and it's it was stuff like, takes more than being a good kisser to be a good president, or something her lips, something. I mean, like they had some brainstorming sessions going on, and Stephanie is unbothered by this until I guess the grade 7s have had enough, and they go outside her classroom.
They confront her
on the day of her exam, and they're just chanting, "Out of the way with Stephanie K." Because if you recall, her original slogan was "All the way." So it rhymes.
They got her on
it's
that
fine. And she, meanwhile, then, Wheels has said to Joey finally, Stephanie's only doing this to piss me off.
He overhears the twins having this discussion.
Having a delightful exposition where they lay it all out. Again, they are sort of the Greek chorus of this.
Right in the library where anyone can hear them.
Yes.
They're shushed at one point by the shushing librarian.
But they're still talking loud enough for Wheels to hear.
He's looking on from the Choose Your Own Adventure rack.
Yes, he's behind the rotating bookshelf.
And this is also where we find out that one of the twins is kind of Team Joey.
Yeah.
She's like, well, one of them's like, and he's not even cute or whatever. And she's like, like, why do you care? She's like, I don't know.
I mean, Joey is cute. I will say that. Like, even at 13, I was like, oh yeah, like he's terrible, but he's.
Yeah, I mean, as an adult, male or female, he is just a walking cautionary tale.
Yes.
Of what not to do and how not to be at that age. But yes, sure.
And I can think of lots of Joeys who I have known in life who were cute and charming and either dumb as a box of rocks or did not put any work into anything ever. And so you're like, what are you going to do with your life? Well, they did something eventually, but at age 13, the options were limited. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so Wheels hears this and tells Joey, and he's like, the twins will tell you. Ask him. And I'm not sure Joey can tell the twins apart either, because they're all leaving the classroom, and he says, "Hey, Heather, Erica," and they both stop. Yeah. And he's asking both of them together, not just one.
Yeah.
So maybe he can't tell. And he asks them, what is it? Did Stephanie just give me the sports rep job to get back at Wheels or something like that? And one says yes and one says no.
Yeah.
And the one that said no was like, yeah.
Like, the sympathetic one says yes. The one in Camp Joey.
Yes. So when the 7th graders have their little demonstration outside the classroom, Joey is now clued in and says, "Hey, guess what? I quit this job." And Stephanie goes in the bathroom to change back into her home clothes and cries.
Yes.
And we have some flashbacks. If you don't remember how this all started 13 weeks ago, we see her thanking Joey and not Vula, and Vula being mad at her, and the kisses. And so we see Wheels being gross.
Yeah. We see that like out of time and space Wheels. That looks more like the Rick character. You also see Rick in that, and he's wearing a polo, a blue polo. So that was the first episode, and it maybe even was shot as a pilot, so it could have been shot weeks before the rest of the series.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and clearly that character is not yet what he would be, because since then Wheels has never worn anything but like preppy clothes. Polo shirts and basic t-shirts and jeans. And
did you catch this episode? He's wearing a sweater over a white turtleneck, which in my memory, that's all we wore.
There was a lot of that.
Sweater over a turtleneck, sweatshirt over a turtleneck. You did not wear a sweater without a turtleneck under it.
Yeah.
And now I live in a warmer climate, and if I wore anything under a sweater, I would faint and die.
Oh, yeah.
But so I don't know. Was it a style thing? Was it a climate thing?
Canada. But the atemporal Wheels, who is out of space and time, with the jean jacket, sleeveless jean jacket, who is the one who has the idea for the kisses for votes, and then takes a look down her shirt.
Yeah,
and Wheels is never portrayed like that again.
No.
Never as a hound dog again.
No,
he is also. I bring this up several times. He is also the one who, when everyone is saying, "Oh, Stephanie in a bikini," he says, "Stephanie without a bikini." So he's like a real dirtbag.
Yeah, I actually don't even know any of the characters that we've met. Who is that? Who would say that? Like, none of them are quite that.
It feels like an amalgamation of Joey and like a little bit Rick and a little bit something else, some other spice thrown in there. Yeah, it's very weird seeing it come back, and because that is not anything close to that character. But we get that whole flashback, including her shaming Arthur. You're not my brother at school. Don't talk to me.
The line that I love: I'm grade 8, so I'm important. You're grade 7, so you're embarrassing.
Yes.
Like, okay, like you are in for a rude awakening when you start high school and you're at the bottom of the food chain again. But okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So she's remembering all these things and crying, and she says, "I just wanted everyone to like me." And meanwhile, she leaves and she's back in her home outfit, and the 7th graders are celebrating their victory. And she walks by them, and they don't really have any reaction, which is, I don't know, maybe they didn't recognize her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And Arthur's with them, and Arthur has been very cute before. The 7th graders were like, "Arthur, you're gonna demonstrate with us, sign the petition, right?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know, she is my sister." But also like, she can be your sister, and you can recognize that she sucks at her job.
And he does make an effort within the episode to talk her out of it.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, it's traditionally a grade," like he's giving her the perfectly logical, outlay of it's normally a grade 7 position, and you can't just assign him. And now the student council is unbalanced,
and there needs to be an and he's very. There's now 66.67% 8th graders. Yeah, and she's basically like, "I can do what I want. Shut up." So she passes him, and she's like, "Hey, Arthur, do you want to walk home together?" Because I guess they're going to the same parents' house this time. They're not split. I don't understand this custody arrangement. But okay. And he says, "Okay." And we're basically like wrapping up the semester. He says, "Oh, I like junior high. This was a good term." And she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be different."
Yeah, next term.
Yeah. And they end with the freeze frame of someone's flipping a scarf at somebody. I was like, okay, I don't even.
I think she tugs on his scarf.
They're being playful and siblings and So this is sort of an odd way to end the season. But again, I think it's just,
I don't think it's odd.
Well,
I mean, again, this feels like a completed arc for Stephanie.
But I've seen this before. Like the whole, my mom, we had a conversation about choices, and I think
but you didn't see that before, because that ends with, of course I'm still changing my clothes, and it's it is clear that had no effect. Getting caught with the condom thing had no effect on her and her desire to.
Well, this is the guy in the parking lot, but
guy in the parking lot either. Like none of this had. Whatever. Anytime she has suffered consequences, now I think the thing that is bringing her consequences that are seeming to stick, at least at the end of this episode, is, like she said, all she wanted to do was for people to like her, and she's realizing now nobody likes her.
Yeah,
Joey, who helped her get elected, Wheels, who she's infatuated with, all of grade 7, at least some amount of grade 8, she has failed in her term long limit to be cool.
What's odd though is I think you could watch this, and the takeaway is that she's gonna stop dressing this way, but I don't think anyone really, the problem was not the way she dressed. I think that's an additional, people like Kathleen are going to pick on that anyway. But if she had been a good school president and not given out roles as favors or to piss people off or whatever, no one would really care how she dressed. I mean, they would, but it would be a whole separate issue. It would not be related to her performance.
Sure. But all of these things are related to one another. The Stephanie that was a good president wouldn't be so worried about people liking her by looking cool. It's one of those things of if you pull one of these threads, the whole thing unravels. If she's dressing the same way but being good at being president, then that's not the Stephanie that would dress that way.
Well, true. And part of the reason she was elected is that she was dressing that way. And
so it all hinges on that. Like,
fair.
She's very quickly shown in the first episode, shown the lesson that this is what matters, that looking, quote unquote, teenage sexy and appealing to boys in this way is what got her elected. That, no one really, I think she's in many ways noticed that no one really cares about her president stuff.
Yeah.
Especially none of the people that voted for her. Nobody is there. Nobody is hanging on her every word at any speech she gives or whatever. She's just, that stuff is the hassle part of it.
Yeah.
She wanted it because it was like, oh, then that's a popularity contest that I won. And the way she had to win it was to betray herself. I mean, I think, again, I think the whole plot of this first season is Stephanie betraying who she really is. She loses her best friend, and you have to think the version of Stephanie that would be best friends with Vula is a very different person.
Well, yes, I am curious to see what version of Stephanie comes back in season 2, because the clothes aside and being boy crazy, Stephanie just seems kind of shallow and kind of bitchy, and I don't see how she and Vula were ever friends. What was that person like? I don't know. I can't imagine. So
it's a My So-Called Life type scenario too. Is because we're shown this character and her bookish nerd best friend right at the time when one of those two characters is undergoing a transformation. It is okay, well, we didn't really see that enough of the other version of her.
Although it always seemed feasible to me that Angela and Sharon, in this case, that is the Stephanie and the Vula of My So-Called Life, could have been friends, because Angela she could kind of flip-flop between the two types of people. But anyway, that's...
Sure, and I think we're given a little more information on that backstory than we are here. I'm just the broad strokes of it is
sure,
we're not given a ton, and it could be, all we need is a couple more scenes at home where her mom is saying, you used to be a straight A student and now, honor society or whatever, and
you used to read all the time and now you just,
So I mean, we with a little bit more, we could drive it home, but it's this. I would like to, meet the Stephanie that was best friends with Vula, because that is because I don't think Vula changed at all from grade 7 to 8.
No,
I think she is, the shirts are just as puffy.
Yeah. No, I think
the skirts are just as floor length.
I think Vula is roughly the same as she has been since 4th grade.
Right.
Which is not bad necessarily. I mean, it's hopelessly dorky and not what I would choose, but she's not, she doesn't especially care about being grown up in a particular way. She's going to grow up when she grows up, and
she's taking school seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of an A plot, B plot, but very intertwined and, hard to tease out. But we do have sort of a C plot.
Yeah.
That is some comic relief, which is basically Mr. Radich is enjoying the idea of giving his students a very difficult test and then forgets it at home.
Yeah, the circumstances of this, I thought we were going to find out that someone stole it.
Yes.
I thought that it was going to be, because we do get a Loose Lucy.
There's a follow-up.
A little recognition of previous crimes. She's seen asking for her attendance record to give to her
social worker.
I was about to say parole
and there's
officer,
a mention of her court date, which is in the spring sometime.
Yes. And so I thought for a minute it was going to be she had taken it
with her sleight of hand.
Yes.
She got a little better at the sleight of hand to steal the test.
But it's never really paid off. But he is for the first sort of half of the episode, he is very, Mr. Jeremiah, are you ready for this test? And he's hyping up this test to them. It's going to be so difficult. And then the day of the test, even at the morning of the test, he's
coming in all cocky.
He's strutting in his lavender suit or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Mr. Jeremiah, you ready? You ready for this?
He's patting the briefcase. I finished it. It's very difficult. I'm looking forward to it.
And then he gets in and he's looking all around, and then he goes to the secretary and he's throwing papers everywhere and he's looking for it.
And he's like, there must be a copy. And I'm like, why do you think she has a copy?
Right.
I don't.
Maybe he's got to like file it with them or something. But
I don't know.
And somehow, we don't really know how. Somehow he gets a copy just in time.
Well, I think he goes home.
I think so, but he does say at some point, I have one at home, but it's I can never get back in time or something.
Yeah.
And there is some period of time where in the thing that has never happened in a real school, but always happens in a television or movie school, when the teacher doesn't show up, everyone starts throwing paper airplanes.
That's true.
And so there is some time at the beginning of class where he's MIA. So yeah, my assumption is he went home to get it.
Yeah. And he comes back super disheveled. And, this man has never had a hair out of place the entire time. The mustache is fluffed to perfection all the time. Shirts are always tucked in, et cetera, et cetera. And he is, if you told me that he had to climb into a dumpster to get the test back, I would believe you. Like, he's just completely a mess.
Yeah. And, gets it on the board, writes, doesn't even have time to photocopy it for the students.
Yeah, I don't. And I saw it was some stuff about the Hamlet and the Mad Scene and Ophelia, and so it's something about Shakespeare. I don't know. Sure.
And the parallel that's going on in the grade 7s is they're also having a test, but be warned, there will be a map of Africa on it.
Yeah, I don't.
That line is great.
I don't understand. I did enjoy the beginning. They're all studying together, and it's about rivers in Africa.
Yeah.
Where is this river? And he goes, in Africa. Yeah, Kathleen's Africa. Like, the whole thing's on Africa.
The test is on Africa. But yeah, just the warning, there's going to be a map of Africa on it.
Yeah, I'm assuming you'll have to label things.
That's what I'm guessing. Like, label the countries or the capitals or something. But
know.
Just that wording.
I don't think I ever had geography as a standalone subject, but I definitely didn't have to do things like name all the rivers in Africa or the deserts or anything, or, like maybe the U.S.
Yeah.
But that was it. Not Europe, not Asia, not South America, nothing.
Yeah, we had a world geography, but it was very general. We didn't have a world geography course, but it was very general. It was more down to like, I think it was very European centric and sort of Asian centric. We was like,
because it was part of world history type.
Yeah, we barely touched on Africa and South America in it, as I recall.
Yeah.
No like river naming.
When you're talking about the Holy Roman Empire, you learn about the Po and the Seine and the, blah, blah, I can't, whenever I'm wondering why I didn't study XYZ subject in school, I'm like, well, we had religion class instead.
Right. Yeah, I learned some time.
I learned about all the various times Mary has appeared to people instead of learning about rivers in Africa.
I learned about how many eyes angels have.
Billions.
How many concentric wheels within wheels, gears, and wings. And
I learned about the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
And I've told you this. Our Christmas play one year was about the 7 deadly sins. Yes. Someday in a future episode, I will tell the whole story, and you guys will go, "My God, your school was insane." It was.
Yes. Well, speaking of future episode, unless you feel we have more to talk about here.
No, I think that's pretty much that's the end of season 1.
Yeah.
So we're a third of the way through.
Stephanie back in her normal clothes, and we've come full circle. She's now happy to have Arthur acknowledge his familial ties. So we'll see how that holds. How all of our characters will Lucy get sent to prison, hard labor. What will become of the Zit remedy?
How will Spike handle swollen feet in the 3rd trimester, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Well, let's see. So the synopsis that I found for the first episode of season 2 is extremely long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But basically, Spike has decided to keep the baby and is given an egg to care for by her counselor. She's mad at Shane because he's, I don't know, not stepping up in the way that she wants, and he hasn't told his parents about it. But he wants to prove himself to Spike, and so she gives him the egg.
Oh, take care of the egg.
And,
I remember this episode.
He goes to a party and, for whatever reason, throws the egg at the wall.
Nice.
And then he tells his parents. Like, okay,
Cool.
I don't understand that.
Sounds like quite a ride.
Yes. Meanwhile, Stephanie stops dressing provocatively in an effort to act more mature. I thought dressing that way was
she's
show
understood that,
was,
it isn't.
Yes,
yeah.
And gives her clothes away to Irene Papadopoulos, but wants them back to impress new student Simon Dexter.
Ooh.
Sure. Okay.
Hilarity ensues.
Yes. Yes. So, well, folks, we would love to know what you think about this episode. Did you have a test about geography of Africa? Was there a map on your test?
Yeah. Were you frightened by it?
Were you frightened by it? Right. Let us know. You can get in touch with us in a couple different ways. You can send us an email at ysmypodcast. That's ysmy for you show me yours at gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, same handle. You can send us a DM, or you can go to our feed and there's links to all of our latest episodes. In 2026, we have new episodes every single Wednesday. The first Wednesday of the month, we are doing our usual YSMY thing and showing each other movies and television that we loved before the first date. And then every other Wednesday of the month, we are rewatching Degrassi Junior High. Next Degrassi episode starts season 2.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens.
Did we hear what it was called?
To our friends.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
the most important part.
Sorry. It's called Egbert, which is
Nice.
the egg.
Nice.
Yeah. I never had an assignment like that. Never had to take care of an egg or a baby or anything. And neither did our kid.
There was a class in my high school where you had to do that, but I don't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it's a bag of flour.
Yeah, I think it was eggs. Maybe it was a health class. Because I had health class the second semester, the second half of I did PE, we split it for half the year. Half the year you did PE. And I feel like the first semester PE kids had the egg, and then when we did it, we had a different teacher, and he just did not care. All he did was, his name was Mr. Emery, and all he did was sit around and tell us stories about his days as a EMT, and
that was probably more educational.
Oh, it was way better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't think it's really
cool.
I don't think anyone takes it seriously.
It's just fun. No, you don't take it seriously. But we digress.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we will see you next time with Egbert. In the meantime, this has been You Show Me Yours. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Well, what are you looking at? Like a wiki? Come on.
Yeah.
Those can't be trusted.
Yeah. I've been trusting it this whole time.
No one needs to know that. No one will ever know.
Yeah. Where am I getting these things from, if not that?
Just from your head brain.
Yeah.